Hi. Good, but I hardly hear you. Still, it's a bit better. Yeah, but it's a very distant sound. Are you sure that is your mic connected? Are you sure?
Okay.
Yeah, now it's better. Now it's better. No, not anymore.
Hello.
Now it is.
Okay, then I need to take off the headphones. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, now I don't hear you very well, but if everyone can hear us well, can you hear us well, everyone? Both me and friends.
Yeah, I hear you well now, Irem.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Perfect. Good. I was going to, as usual, I was going to write the topic and pin, but I cannot do it today because my phone is not stable, so I can't touch it just in case.
Okay.
We'll tell people, we will refresh people of the topic as they join.
Yeah, but I have to say that your voice is still going up and down in quality.
Really?
Yeah.
Better now?
Closer, closer.
But then you can see the hair in my nose. Okay, I don't know what should I do. I can try again once more.
No, now it's at the moment it's fine, but it seems very unstable. I don't know.
Okay, I think it's a connection. Today we don't have, I think, really good connection. I will try to be loud as possible and hope for the neighbors.
Yeah.
Complaining. Okay, so hi everyone. Today we're gonna do a recap about how COVID-19 affects wine industry.
Yeah.
Actually, let me try to pin it. Okay, I wrote it. Let's see. Wait a second.
Yeah, I can see it.
You see it? Okay, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And one last, I touch the phone and okay, good. Perfect. So we did, actually today it's our fourth week. The entire month we've been doing the sessions for the entire, and the first session we started with this topic, COVID-19 impact on industry. It was a month ago and many things actually have changed since then. So I think it's good to do a recap.
A recap, yeah.
Or update.
Sure. Well, yes. I mean, what's the general picture?
It's worse. The general picture.
The general picture is not particularly good, of course. But we'll zoom in on let's take first the general situation. The general situation, of course, is that virtually everywhere there's a lockdown of the on-trade. So restaurants, bars, I think almost on a worldwide scale, they're closed. That has a immediate impact on certain parts of the wine market. And there are plenty of wine importers, wine distributors, but also wine producers who sell most of their wine through on-trade. So they've got a huge problem, really huge problem. Of course, supermarkets and retail in general are able to continue business as before, but not always. So it's a bit of a mixed picture. I know from, for example, from the two supermarket chains that I work for in Russia, that one is doing very well. and the other one is doing less well for a number of reasons. We don't have to go into detail, but I think if you look at it from an overall point of view, that I'm pretty sure that that wine consumption on a worldwide scale at this moment is lower than it should be. I'm pretty sure about that, because it also has to do with the fact that wine is very much a social drink, something that you like to drink together with friends during good meals, whether that's in a restaurant or at home. And all of that is down for the moment. And sure, there's some level of compensation, because at the same time in some countries governments are warning people be careful with alcohol, because being at home, being bored, feeling depressed, you may want to seek solution in heavy drinking, but wine is less suitable for that, I would say. So I'm very sure that wine consumption is lower at the moment, lower than it normally would be. So that's a bad picture.
The thing is, a month ago when we were about this topic, it was the first week of lockdown.
Yeah.
And, Italy's third week, and then after France also started down and stuff. It was still not a little bit certain, and we were talking about this, and then we were thinking maybe we can go back to semi-normal life in mid-May or June.
Yeah.
Now the picture is worse. Not gonna go into semi-normal life, not in mid-May.
Not before summer, no.
Exactly, and summer is gonna happen, especially in certain countries like Spain, for example. Then actually many hotels. When we were talking that many hotels or on trade trying to save this season, now, especially in Barcelona, many hotel chains, they're going to be closed until October. They're not opening this season. Some season.
Really?
Yeah. And obviously, it also has a big impact. And now we don't know what's in 2021 either.
No.
I'm more pessimistic a month before.
Yeah, definitely.
Globally, it's a recession. Wine industry and then restart at the moment.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, off-trade sales in global alcoholic beverages, off-trade sales and online increasing, especially in United States. But also there's at this moment there's also because people they don't know how long to go, so they're just like they're stocking things. So if this purchase behavior, online purchase behavior, is it sustainable or not? It's the question as well. We don't know what. So it's a little bit. I think it's affecting obviously both sides of on trade, off trade, on commerce and global retail, travel retail.
Yeah. No, for sure. As I said a month ago, already at that point, the worldwide wine business was not doing very well. There were major concerns. Chinese market was down last year, already last year. We've got the Brexit coming up. We've got the trade wars with the United States, with Trump. So there were many issues actually affecting the international wine trade and making the future a bit unsure. Well, we can now say that the future is not a bit unsure, it's very unsure, because indeed, because of Corona, because of the fact that we're now actually entering a worldwide economic recession, it's bad news all over the place, for sure. And some regions are already heavily feeling the burden. I was speaking with Bordeaux today, with the Bordeaux Négociant. I mean, Bordeaux was already not doing too well last year, and this year it looks very bad. You know, the whole En Primeur campaign. There is still no idea how to handle that in Bordeaux. My conclusion was very likely we will see a very sort of mixed en primeur campaign where some chateaus will begin to offer wine in June, some won't, some will wait, some won't do it at all. It's going to be a very mixed picture. I do not think that Bordeaux will be able to develop a united campaign for en primeur 2019. One thing is sure, it's a good vintage from what I hear. I haven't been able to taste it but from what I hear, it's a good vintage, and prices are likely to go down because of the markets. From what I also hear is that Champagne is actually suffering very badly, but this is typical. And that is where, you know, the fact that Champagne is such a beloved celebration drink, in periods like this, it's very counterproductive to be a celebration drink. You know, there's nothing to celebrate at the moment, nothing at all. So nobody is thinking of drinking Champagne for that purpose. So Champagne has a huge problem. Bourgogne seems to be the least worried. You know, they've cut no wine anyway. There is no volume. Stocks are low. And nobody seems to be very worried in Bourgogne. So maybe that's a market that will be able to sort of more or less pick up again rather easily once things get a bit better. So these are three important regions where I know a bit what the situation is. In Spain, I don't know all the details, but if I look at how many calls I get from Spain at the moment for my Russian supermarket chains who is trying to sell wine, is looking for customers, then I'm pretty sure that the situation in Spain is horrible, actually. And of course it is, because Spain actually, I mean, a large percentage of Spanish wine is consumed inside Spain, the majority actually, at least of bottled wines. And Spanish people only drink wine in bars and restaurants. Off-trade is not that important in Spain, so wine consumption must be terribly low there, and that means that a lot of producers have huge sales issues now. So no, it's not a happy story, not at all.
And actually, from the distributor, importer, and distributor side, now we receive so many emails, so many calls from Italian wine producers as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same situation.
Yeah, we couldn't introduce our wines in Pro Wine. There's no WineTalks either, so they're looking for importers.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's gonna be, I mean, Spain and Italy, obviously, and especially Spain is a country who is also like huge economy is based on tourism.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult for Spain.
Yes.
But you know what I'm thinking? I think this, in the long run, this will bring again another wine-like situation, because already, especially in Europe is producing much more wine than it's consumed. Yeah. Now in this crisis, especially in Spain, about what other markets, but in Spain, the essential can still bring. So wine is still essential. So wineries are still operating, and they don't have any. Not their production is not affected much. So they can still produce. They continue to produce, and obviously they will have 2020. They will produce, but they cannot sell. No. So I think it's going to bring another wine-like situation, and then some actions needs to be taken about this. Sure. Prices will go down. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. But Spain is probably one of the worst hit markets this year. It can't get much worse than in Spain, actually. I'm sorry to say, my beloved Spain. Yeah. Actually, if Robin, a friend of mine, I saw he joined. If he's still there, Robin is in wine business, and he has been wine business about 40 years. So he lives in New York. So if you are there, you can also share with us your comments. What do you think that U.S. market will will happen in the US market, because New York was hit pretty much bad as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm gonna say this again. I said it in the beginning, I mean, a month ago, and I'm still like really, I have really strong opinion on this. Wine industry is really, and COVID-19 needs, I mean, they need, I mean, they haven't changed their strategy and mentality, generally speaking. And
Mm-hmm.
so if they were kind of ready for this situation, it would have been much easier for them to do it. But they didn't have a plan B. They didn't have strong, mostly speaking about winery, they didn't have a strong presence online in the digital world. So now they're like losing almost to think what to do. Some of them came up with creative ideas,
Yeah.
but some not.
No.
And they're the one that they're be affected even worse. And I think now it's time to see this as an opportunity and try to act upon it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but that's true. That's true. I mean, that's what I also said a month ago. From my point of view, there's a lot of I call that hot air in the industry. There are lots of wines that are way too expensive actually for what they really offer, and maybe this will, well, not in a nice way, but it will maybe force a bit more reason into the wine business, because it became quite unreasonable in recent years, I would say. Which also, I mean, that also goes to the subject that we discussed earlier this week, you know, scoring and the quality of wine journalism and whatever. But in any case, for me, that's one big picture. But I think a lot of wines were way too expensive for what they really offered. And I wouldn't mind if this crisis forces those producers to rethink a little bit their strategy.
And actually, yes, as expensive, but it's also much more expensive on route to the market, the consumer. So I think maybe there should be some regulations on this as well. You mean what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, but sorry. The problem is that I still only hear 75% of what you say. So there are all the time words that are sort of missing.
Yeah, says Irem, the sound is distorted from you. Yeah. The connection is bad, and my phone I think has issues. I'm like kind of leaning. So what I was gonna say, Christoph, I know the sound is not great today. Yeah, today is, sorry for the technical issues. I will, for the next session, I will make it up. What I was saying was, from the winery, the producer, the wine goes out from the winery, the market, through to the price, so many months.
Okay. Yeah. Margin on margin, etc.
Yeah, the margins. Maybe will regulate things within the following years.
That's actually also true. I agree with that as well. Yeah. So it's true that the fact that some wines are very expensive or too expensive is not just because of the producer, although it always starts there, but it's also the way this business is organized. On the other hand, I have to say that the route to market has already become much shorter in the 30 years that I've been working with wine. You cannot imagine 30 years ago how many steps there was between a bottle of wine, between the producer and the moment somebody was drinking that bottle. You know, with wholesalers and this and that, and a lot of that has gone now. But it can still be better for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So before that, between the bottle, apart from distributors, were there steps included? Some time ago.
Yes, there were. There were situations where the producer, I don't know, would be selling through an agent to an importer. The importer would sell to a wholesaler. The wholesaler would then sell to a shop. So there were like a lot of totally unnecessary steps because, and of course nowadays you will see lots of specialist wine shops who buy directly from producers, and that is the shortest possible way, of course. On the other hand, maybe it can still be shorter with internet and everything, that people buy directly from producers. That is, of course, and also logistically speaking, that is relatively easy today. But there remains one problem, and that is, how do you actually establish that contact? How is the consumer going to find you? So I'm not sure if that is really the future of business. And in any case, if a producer has to sell every case by the case himself, that's a hell of a lot of work, and he may not be wishing to do that.
Yeah, obviously it's not really very quick, but there are steps. Considering those steps, still keeping them, producer, I think, needs to consumer the customer has to reach the customer, and I mentioned that in my wine academic, you know, the big implications on the wine industry. So every producer needs to know the consumer, although they think middlemen, they need to know the consumer, because now I think it's the time to your consumer. Yes, your sales are much before, but now you need to do something, do back for the consumer and connect with the consumer.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. That's very key.
You don't know. You have no idea where your wine is.
No.
That's another
that's true.
topic. Really.
That's true. Yeah, this is something we could discuss in another as another topic in the next weeks.
Okay, great. Actually, today is not good. Guys, so let's maybe call the day off today, and then next week here with a better connection.
Okay, and Monday evening we start with champagne.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. No.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, there are people asking for this topic, actually, champagne topics. Champagne. Although we say there's nothing to sell, maybe we can talk about the other aspects of champagne, and be doing almost every week the bubbles. Starting from champagne, going to corpinat, cava. I'm not supposed to say cava.
Yeah.
Bubbles. Okay, Frank, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Drink, but don't drink too much. And yeah, actually, you wouldn't believe it, but I'm not drinking anything at the moment. I haven't been drinking wine for the whole month now. So I'm using this period also to work a bit on my health, lose a bit of weight, and I'm not drinking any wine. I'm sorry to say for wine producers.
You're detoxing.
I'm detoxing. Well, yeah, I don't believe in that, but in a way. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Okay, very good.
Next week for the champagne session, I'll do some champagne.
Yes. See you next week. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.